Good morning on this Christmas Eve if you're celebrating. And this will just be a test, as you can see. And who knows if you're up for any Davos or year in loop of World Economic Forum. Maybe we'll stick around a little bit longer. Thank you for your patience. Angela Reed, thank you so much. This is just a test that I'm doing, so I don't really expect anybody to be around, but I may run a few other things. Just give me a 1 if you can hear me. Yesterday was a little bit trying, but I wasn't the only one. So to my surprise, no. But it seems like many, even not Twitter, but even Periscope had some issues. Oh, OJ22, thank you so much for coming in. And thank you so much, Angela Reed. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to run a couple of other things. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are around, hope you're doing well on your Christmas Eve morning and your Christmas Eve Eve, if it's actually, or your afternoon rather, if you're in Europe at this time. So I'm going to run a little bit. I'll run a few ads, and we'll see. We'll see if we have time for a little bit of loop from the Wii forum, as if we need to loop that. But it's interesting. Anything you may have missed, you might be curious about the Wii forum, and if Greta Thunberg rings a bell, then that's one of their agents. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll start rolling with just a couple of thanks and a commercial for starters. Thanks for tuning in for the test, and let me know if you can hear this actual commercial. Thank you. All right. Thanks so much again for those of you that are tuning in. And as I was saying earlier, before you guys came in, if you're just now coming in, that this is just a test, but who knows? I might drop something in something of substance into this test. But I do want to say that if you haven't had a chance to, even if you want to check in with our AI at this time of the day, that's also a good thing to do. And that would be with either a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or sharing out the stream, or even more fundamental than that, if you can just make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. And let me know if there's any flickering, or of course, there's some things I'll be able to pick up on my end, but some things I may not be able to. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I guess maybe I could make a couple of comments. Thank you so much, Angela Reed. In terms of from on the political stage, I guess there's just more lobbying back and forth, of course, in reference to this whole stimulus debacle. And of course, for the whole left-right paradigm, you've got apparently House majority caught on urging House reps to kill Trump's $2,000 check demand. So I'll go ahead and share that one with you, just because, just in the spirit, just because we're here. Hope you guys are doing well out there. So just look at this one really quickly. I mean, what do they call them? Rhinos, or I don't know. Who knows? But I was hoping that I'd have some actual audio for this one, but I don't see any that I will be able to actually use. So let's see, this one here again, it's from the Gateway Pundit here, or the pen name of the author is Joe Hoft on this one. This was actually released this morning, and it's entitled again, House Majority Caught on Call Urging House Reps to Kill Trump's $2,000 check demand. The hits just keep on coming, right? For the theater. Okay, so it's first no response from the Republicans on the most obvious and corrupt E-word in world history. And now the congressional Republicans want to stop the president's wishes for providing more in CV-19 payments to the people. The big guy Biden manufactured, well, I'm going to leave that out because you know where we are right now. So we're not going to even comment on the big guy and the contesting the most contested election, I will say. All right, so we'll keep going here. I'm going to just hop down here. I'm mainly, the interest here in this case is just the rhino narrative, or the whatever. No, Angela Reed. Did I hear Senator of Oregon speaking against? No, I did not. I really think that this is like a powder keg. I think things are about to open up here on some level. I don't know what's going to open up. I don't know, but I think we're on the cusp of something, but we'll see. I always keep my hat around for analysis. So we'll just see. We're going to keep going with this one. I do have a video, but there again, this is just a test. So, and I actually don't mind you guys being here. I'm actually glad you guys are here because I get to see if everything's working. So I actually have some new graphics actually going on here. So Angela Reed, if you look at your screen, you can see that your first initial is here, and then your full name is there. So, just a few goodies, a few goodies for you, a little gift for you on your Christmas Eve. So you can see the way your name is presented here, as well as your comment. So there you go. Before we leave, everyone will have an opportunity to have their name displayed with my new little hack, my new little lower third, or my new little theme for you on the bottom. But it's done in the spirit of the holiday. You see, it's red and green, if you will. So thank you so much, Angela Reed. You're the first comment of the day. Thank you so much for coming in. So let's just we'll look at this a little bit more. All right. So, of course, this is the Gateway Pundit, and they're saying, of course, the president's opponent was very weak. And they're going on to they framed this up with a whole lot of course, a lot of the results, here. So I'm going to scoot around that for the sake of the AI. But so the bulk of this is yesterday there was more proof of this as the Republicans in Congress were caught acting behind the scenes, attempting to stop President Trump's ask to give Americans more money due to American challenges with the CV. So, Mediate reports House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, the Republican of California, on Wednesday ended a call with House Republicans after they began leaking to the media about his effort to kill a proposal that would include direct $2,000 payments to Americans. All right. So you can see, there's some behind the scenes stuff going on here. With some of the meetings, some of the House members or senators or whatnot. They're urging people, of course, to reach out to do your action, your call to action here, call your reps, call your senators, and some of you may want to engage in that, but I won't play that for the sake of argument and AI. Look who's here. See, that's very nice. It's hi, Derek C. Williams. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And look, see, I'm going to put your name up next. That's very nice. I think it's pretty nice. Look at Derek C. Williams. Thank you. Derek says he's in listen mode, exercise regime, late to the party, but greetings to Black Spring. Thank you so much, Derek C. Williams. I really appreciate it. And as you can see, your name is presented in a different format here on my lower thirds on your screen. If you're able to get a chance, or if you need to do it in replay, you guys can, of course, enjoy the graphics on your replay. And also, if you didn't notice on the commercial that I ran, that we are available via, for you podcast lovers or for you guys that can just do audio, you can find Black Spring with Autumn on Spotify, a podcast, a Pocket Cast, as well as Anchor right now. So those are the three that you can find me on there. And I usually get those out pretty quickly. So it usually will be turned around pretty quickly. And so, yes, but then, we have some new digs for you for the holiday. So you can check out your own lower third if you're around. But yes, so we'll continue expanding this platform as much as possible in these times because it's necessary. And thanks to Paralysis by Analysis, one of our newest members around here, sponsors around here, for being very observant and showing us the words, our buzzwords that we need to look out for. So you guys are, it's very advantageous to be a teacher or to be a student, to be on either side. That's what happens. The teachers learn from the students, and the students learn from the teachers, and that's been my experience. And so thank you for sharing that, Paralysis by Analysis, if you're out there. And I'm going to read, and thank you so much, Derek C. Williams, for coming in. So check out, we got a couple more commercials that, coming out, and on the platforms, expansion of the platform and sustaining the platform is what we're trying to do around here. So I really appreciate it. So we'll go with comments. Very open-ended format here right now. It's a test, but I'm also happy to hear from you guys. Melinda Ann Burns, good morning to you. And she says, it just amazes me that the ones speaking out against the people getting more money to help them through the crisis that they created are the people who aren't hurting for anything. Well, I did mention that how many payments have the Congress missed this year? I mean, how much of their livelihood has been squelched or diverted during this time? I don't know if you know one. Please, enlighten me. Appreciate it. Love that. Love the way your avatar comes up, Melinda Ann Burns. That's very nice. It's also very clear. It's very clear. All right. So who else do we have? Angela says the Republican speaking out makes $2 million a year. Yes, they haven't missed a paycheck. Just diabolical. Yes, I can see that. And look who's here. Thank you so much, Joseph Francis Burton. And look how lovely your name and your avatar shows up on the screen. It says, good morning. I left a phone message with my rep, Veronica Escobar, asking her why she voted yes for an omnibus bill she did not read. Ooh, there you go. See, look at you guys. You guys are tuned and tapped in, and you guys are ready for action around here. Very nice. In fact, if you want to, I mean, I'm always about taking a look at looking at the constitutional voting records or their scorecards to see how these individual representatives are actually voting, whether they're the senators or whether they are House reps. If you guys want to drop, if you guys are looking for your person, I have no problem helping you locate that information. Actually, I don't mind even doing it on screen. We've done that here before. We've checked out, of course, what is it? Pelosi, she's coming in at around 18%. And I don't know about you, but can I say in my days of yore, 18% is pretty much failing. It's pretty much abysmally failing. So, but I mean, who it just I guess it depends on what she's looking at. I mean, some people I've even heard it said that there are actually two constitutions. So the subjectivity here just never ends. I mean, I have no idea what oath of office or what standards are these people being held accountable to. I have no idea. I can't translate any of that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. So we'll just keep going here. We might even play you might even get to see a little bit from Davos from earlier. It looks like they've created their loop of 2020. And of course it's all about the GR, the Great Reset, or even the 4IR, or if you want to use something that people are still denying, they're still denying the NWO, or they just don't see the transformation. They don't see what's coming down the pike. And in fact, I had a story yesterday, and let me share that one with you. And you might think this might be a little bit blasphemous for you. Yeah, I'm going to bring this one to you because, yeah, this might be a little bit stunning for you, but maybe not. Looks like Baltimore, or no, DC mayor. Yeah, I guess I said the hits keep on coming, right? All right. So we're going to rock on with this one. And this is, all right. So what's happened is DC mayor decides she's going to honor Fauci on 80th birthday with Dr. Fauci, Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day. So looks like Christmas Eve might be taking a turn for Fauci. I'm just going to read a little bit of this for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I really do. Now let me know if you have any issues with the audio here, because that's what this patience test is about. That's what the bulk of it is about. So I'm going to go ahead and share that story with you. So, are you guys loving it yet? Are you guys, is it wicked enough for you? Is it getting dark enough around here? I mean, Fauci. I know, it's like, only so we'll go with, actually let's take Politico for this one. It's not my vetted source, but hey, only Politico could bring me this. All right. So I'm going to share that screen with you. Thank you so much, Joseph Francis Burton. I really appreciate it. I'm going to share this story with you. A little bit of wonky, a little bizarro land. All right. So out of the gate, Politico. The birthday of the day, Anthony Fauci, director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. All right, it was released this morning. So, hey, it wasn't, see if it stands up, I don't know. Where are you celebrating your birthday? With whom? Quote, I'm celebrating my birthday at home with my wife. I normally tradition since my children were born and they're adult young women now, 3 girls. We used to traditionally have a birthday celebration of my wife and my 3 daughters. Would go over to my sister's house, who lives in Alexandria, and have a birthday party on Christmas Eve. And we've done that literally for more than 40 years. I've done that. And since my children were born over the last 35 or so years. And unfortunately, we're not going to do that this year. The situation of not wanting to travel and trying to abide by the public recommendations that I myself are given to the American public to avoid travel and to avoid congregate settings. So I'm going to spend it in a quiet dinner with my wife in my home and Zoom in with my daughters who are in 3 separate cities, San Francisco, New Orleans, and Boston. So we're going to have a quiet dinner. We're going to sort of celebrate me and toast me with a little Prosecco through Zoom. That's not optimal, but it's better than nothing, end quote. So this is an interview that this is a little thick. But it's the mayor of DC, I think, that's kind of donned this whole situation. So I really don't care to read that entire situation. So I'm going to read a few comments here. And JT Waterman says, Merry Christmas, Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you so much, JT Waterman, and Merry Christmas to you. And as you can see, that's very interesting. I like the way that your name appears here. So we've got a little gift for everyone. You have a different look today, a little bit of a theme there. Derek says that dude is just bestowed, quote, Guardian of the Year by Time Magazine. Fauci has been wrong on everything for over 50 years, and he's a hero. America, a nation of idiots. Ooh, don't burn them now. Don't burn. Thanks so much, Derek C. Williams. You never disappoint us. Thank you so much. And in fact, what I will do, I will give a little bit of we'll do a little break here in just a second for another commercial here. But salute to your chat. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. And Joseph Francis Burton says, Anthony Fauci Day accepting honors like that is just gross. You see, I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. And Melinda Ann Burns says, did y'all see Fauci getting the jab? He then clasped the wrong arm, telling everyone he has a... See, you guys don't, nothing gets by you guys. That's why I trust this chat. Look who's here. It's the Lockhart Perspective. Good morning to you, the Lockhart Perspective. And as you can see, your name appears with a lovely avatar in a different form today. I really like that. Okay, I'll stop carrying on about the graphic here. But I think it looks nice. The Lockhart Perspective says they are all liars, the lot of them. Yes, yes. Preach, preach, preach. All right. And JT Waterman says if Fauci lied to kids first, he said Santa couldn't get the Smirus. Then last week he said he went to North Pole and gave Santa his shot for the Smirus. And yeah. So we're gonna do. There's more where that came from, guys. So yes, it's what I'm actually having a real issue with the people with the people that are doing this kind of let me see, for the lack of a better word, that are doing this kind of sucking up. What is that about? What do you guys suspect about that? Do these people really think they're going to survive carrying on like this? I mean, in the end, are they really going to be winners? I mean, they're obviously motivated by something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit of this one. So this is Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, Democrat. The D.C. mayor honoring Fauci on 80th birthday with Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day. So that was also that was released, right when it hit the press yesterday. But the Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said she would honor the nation's leading infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci's 80th birthday Thursday with Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day. The mayor tweeted Wednesday saying, quote, we are incredibly proud to count Dr. Fauci among the many D.C. residents who are sacrificing so much to keep our communities healthy and safe, end quote. Bowser issued a proclamation that Fauci's birthday, which falls on Christmas Eve, would be, quote, Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day, end quote, in Washington, D.C. this year. Now, and this I will say, to the contrary, I'm told that Trump actually made Christmas a federal holiday, or he did something. I don't know if this is a response to that, but that was something that I heard. That's a little bit of hearsay on that. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see. Let's see what happens there. It's like a little clap back there, a little bitter. So President Trump actually makes Christmas Eve a federal holiday. So that was December 11th. So yeah, that was actually an executive order. Can you guys see? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? This tit for tat stuff? I mean, what's happening around here? What is happening? Okay, I'm going to read a couple of. Hi, let the truth be told. Let's see, I'm going to drop your comment here into the stream, to the chat. Okay, let the truth be told says, seems like I'm on a delay here slightly. It says, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Derek C. Williams says, I thought that mongrel said it would be best to cancel Christmas. You know, they changed faster than bed sheets around here. Who knows? But who knows? Maybe by 5 p.m. it'll be a different situation. So we're going to keep going. And actually, let me get this in from JT Waterman. It says they are fighting like kids in a sandbox over who has the bigger truck. Only Biden and the others are still sore losers. Yeah, this is more than interesting. So I'll just keep going here if you guys don't mind. I don't know. I don't want to say the gall of these people, but and there you go. It's like you do any look at this. This is Mayor Muriel Bowser in honor of Dr. Fauci's 80th birthday tomorrow. This is the whole spill on Twitter. So not only, he got a certificate. I don't know. What did he get? Like a McDonald's Playland card or Happy Meal certificate too. We are incredibly proud to count Dr. Fauci among the many DC residents who are sacrificing so much to keep our communities healthy and safe. And he's got that. It's almost like he's wearing two masks. So according to this, as a leading infectious disease expert on the White House CV task force, Fauci has been a top source of public health guidance throughout the CV pandemic, advising the nation on how to safely navigate one of the worst pandemics since the 1918 Spanish flu. Fauci has also served as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases since 1984 and has advised 6 presidents during his tenure. Fauci has said he will serve as chief medical advisor for President-subject Joe Biden. All right, so we're going to keep rolling. Thank you guys for the patience test. And he and his spouse, Christine Fauci, have lived in the district since 1977, according to the mayor's proclamation. Quote, Dr. Fauci has been a shining light in dark times for the nation, promoting truth over fear. Wow. And giving Americans hope in their government. Have you guys got that? Have you guys got that sentiment yet? You got that down yet? Bowser added. The mayor encouraged Washington residents to join her in the spirit of wishing Fauci a happy birthday on Thursday. Okay. Maybe they're going to have a parade too. What do you guys think? Oh, wow. Okay. So Joseph Francis Burton said a certificate. I got one of those too. Amazing. Angela Reed piles on. All right. And JT Waterman says most doctors retire long before they are Dr. Dinky's age, but he wants Brad Pitt to play him in a movie too. Yes, I saw that. I tell you. The megalomania never ends. It's like Washington, D.C. Is that what you guys are doing? Is that what you guys are all about? All right. So, just for kicks and giggles, I know it's early, but, if you guys want to chime in here, it's absolutely fine. So I'm actually, kind of going through some of this through the news, and you guys are here again. The student becomes the teacher and the teacher becomes the student. It's all good. It's all advantageous around here. I appreciate that. And if you haven't had an opportunity to feed the AI, you will have an opportunity to do so. You can do that by just hitting the like or the dislike or throwing caution to the wind and sharing it out. Or the biggest thing you can do is to make sure you're still subscribed. So I appreciate it. Look who's here. It's R. Jones. R. Jones says, does anyone else ever have extreme negative and even disturbing feelings when you see, hear, or read about certain public figures? Yes. If I didn't, I do now. Uh-oh. Lockhart perspective. You're being your fan base is here. Come on in. Come on in. There's room. There's room. If you've got your coffee, then you'll have even more fun. Let's see. Just a few extra themes for you guys, a few more lower third, just a little gift. Not much. So let's see. Okay. So I'm going to check in with our friends over at the We Forum and see what's happening over there. They're actually giving a loop of the 2020, if you can stand that. And look who else is here. It's Old Head Deuce. Old Head Deuce. How are you? Good morning to you. Proverb Nation is here. Oh, we got quite a few people turning out this morning. Oh gosh, you guys are giving me a Christmas Eve support. I appreciate it. The Lockhart perspective. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much once again for look at Nacon Shop. Nacon Shop, thank you so much, my friend, for sharing out the stream. And look at Derek C. Williams. I didn't realize I've got 2 shares on the stream. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for sharing out the stream and putting a finger in the dam on the AI. I appreciate that. So with that said, I'm just going to do a little bit of another commercial and come right back. And we'll take a look at Davos and the year's end. All right, guys, if you got your coffee, Lockhart, you got your bagel, your lox, and whatever you like. Thanks so much for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our friends at Davos, the We Forum. What did you say? So funny, Old Head Deuce. You're so full of life. Let's see. Oh, we have a lovely message from Angela Reed. She says, may you all hold your loved ones a little tighter this year. Jesus is the reason for the season. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Derek C. Williams, you are most generous. You are most generous. Let's see. What do I have here? Okay, so we're going to go over to the We Forum here. And of course, if you guys are familiar with Greta Thunberg, now keep in mind, for a president subject, Biden, climate change is going to be number 1, I believe, on the list. Okay. I'm somewhere between a CV-19 and we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Angela Reed and everyone for being in here. This is one way to start a Christmas Eve and even a Thursday. All right. So we're going to go on over to our friends we're going to make your homes. If we're not making your home social, what are we going to do? We're going to go over and see what they think is formidable memory, according to the elites over at the World Economic Forum. So we'll just have a quick look over here. Actually, they're actually throwing you right back into you going into 2018. Okay, so really quickly here, if you can see the imagery here is pretty intense, right? It's actually a little bit excruciating. This is the year that the CV built. A look back on 2020. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, this is quite interesting. I'm not sure where this took place. Okay, so it says news photo of the year. This is the photo of the year coming straight out of the We Forum. It's a t-shirt. You should have a t-shirt that says straight out of We Forum. So you got news photo of the year. This is it. This is the BLM protester Patrick Hutchinson carries an injured counter protester to safety in London. Now that was on June 13, 2020. And not to worry, we're gonna do our own loop of 2020 around here. Don't worry. Yeah. Lockhart perspective. You keep a smile on our faces around here. Thank you so much for all you do and your support. I really appreciate it. So let's see. JT Waterman says they are calling the new virus 2020. So what does that tell you? I tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and roll this thing. There's probably a couple of clips and a little bit of audio in here. And thanks so much to the Lockhart Perspective for sharing out the stream. Thanks so much to Derek C. Williams. And I had another person to share out the stream. Nacon Shop. Thank you guys. Derek C. Williams, Nacon Shop, the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you guys so much for helping out around here. All right. So let's see. Let's get into the text here. All right. It says the World versus the Virus podcast looks back on a year defined by the pandemic. 2020 will also be remembered for Trump. Oh, you got to get that. You got to put that imagery out there. You got to. Black Lives Matter and Brexit. Okay, so this is, I'm going to drop that in there for you guys. Maybe Joseph Francis Burton, if you prefer, some Christmas Eve reading, or anybody. We'll just put this right out here for you. What is it? JT Waterman, he says, Loop 2020, that means hitting the eggnog. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard to loop, but we'll come up with something. Whoa. What was that? Did they fact check me already? Let the truth be told. He says, I am back for a short time. YouTube asked me about one of your videos with those empty stars. You got full stars. Oh my gosh. See, thank you. See look at all these gifts that I'm getting around here. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So I appreciate that for any ratings and of course, and I will get around to your guys' channels. I usually do that as much as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into your guys' channels today. Yeah, we're just taking it open-ended and easy around here on the format today. And there is a link out there for anyone that wants to chime in. So let's keep going here. As I'm pretty sure we're going to get into one of these videos that you're just going to be, it's going to make your day, right? All right. So according to this, many of us suffered loss of loved ones from the pandemic. Even more of us have seen our livelihoods put in peril. But there are some memories we will all share, captured in the news media that serve as a, quote, first draft of history. All right. So I don't know about this first one, but it says on this edition of World versus Virus, the podcast host Robin Pomeray is joined by CNN Johannesburg correspondent Eleni Giokos to listen back on the big stories of the year. I don't know if we're going to do that one. Give me a 1 if you want to do this one. If not, we'll just keep going. There are other ones here, and I think Greta Thunberg is the one that's kind of standing out right away that I've seen so far. And so we'll just keep going here. So according to this, in January, no one had heard of the CV-19 because the virus that was emerging in Wuhan, China, did not yet have an official name. Do you guys get there's a little bit of a so it looks like we got a submission that this that the origin here was actually Wuhan, China. Okay, we'll just keep going with that. And then here you have a press conference for the CV19 Davos 2020. We won't do that one. And looks like they go on with the climate change because, of course, Trump won an award at the climate summit for it was a silly award, but of course, it was pretty a bit of more mockery and he's an all occasion devil or devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. But this one is even going back to 2018, so maybe he hasn't been there since the 2018 Davos meeting. Oh well, so we'll get to the one that I want to look at right here, and this is actually Greta Thunberg on averting a climate apocalypse, because we have a climate czar already, assigned by President-subject Joe Biden. So the Swedish teenage Greta Thunberg expressed her anger at the world's lack of action to prevent climate catastrophe. All right, let's see who's still around. I really appreciate it. And Melinda Ann Burns says, everyone have a merry and blessed Christmas. Thank you so much. Same to you. All right. So, according to the UN, that children are the agents of change. And I see this is their agent of change. Oh my gosh. The Lockhart perspective. I didn't know you were there. I don't get a bell or anything. Uh-oh. Lockhart perspective.
I'm sorry. I was running water.
Good morning.
I'm so tired of that little robotic child. That child was a robot. She's not a person. She's a robot. Miss Thornburg. Who's her mom and daddy anyway? What do they do?
I think they're actors. I think they're, you know what I mean? I think they're actors.
Yeah, they're all bad actors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any jingles. I guess I should have made some jingles for the occasion. But, I appreciate you guys coming on. I know it's kind of early, but, you got your coffee ready?
No, I'm making it now. I'm in the kitchen. That's why I'm in here clinking and clanking around, making the coffee now. It's like, when I go to bed so late, I just, it took forever to upload that last video that I did, and I couldn't understand why until I listened back, and then I was like, oh, yikes, that's I see why.
Fantastic report. It was fantastic. Get over to the Lockhart perspective, guys. I sent them over yesterday or the day before.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good, really, because that, it's like right now, it's just all of us just being, a family, really. And, that to me is like the most important thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like all of us just being in a family together and just really, giving out good information. My favorite, other than you, hello, Angela. Let me just first of all stop and just give honor to everybody here. JT Waterman, Angela Reed, Old Head Deuce, hello. Joseph Francis Burton, hello and good morning to you, sir. Linda Ann Burns, hello. And of course, I cannot have this without saying good morning to Mr. Derek C. Williams. If I've forgotten anybody here in the chat, you guys just count it to my head and not my heart, because I ain't had the coffee yet, but let the truth be told, I saw was there earlier as well. So good morning to everybody. But it's just all of us, really about just being a strong community. I think Derek is one of the main reasons why you and I are even linked up. He's actually the only reason, because that's how we met each other. So if you guys have not gone to Derek C. Williams' channel, will you please go and check him out? He does a live on Saturday afternoon, and he comes with some very awesome information. He will always tell you that he's not necessarily a very tech savvy person, but both Blackstream and myself, we mod for him. And when I tell you he sends out some of the most dynamic information, that is a place where you can get a lot of good stuff because he sources a lot of good information. So, we all just love each other. We just want you guys to have a great holiday. I know there are a lot of people who, have their Christmas trees up and have their families all together, and, you do what you're doing, and that's good. I just want everybody to be safe and keep your eyes open, especially right now. When the president did that executive order, Black Spring, um, I called you Black Stream without no coffee. I'm turning into old head. Yeah, I said it, old head.
You know what? Sometimes, the consonants get a little bit much for me. I'm getting up
Yeah,
there in age, ma'am.
girl, bye.
things aren't
But
things
you
aren't
know
quite
what?
things aren't quite hanging in there the way they used to. They're not. It's just not.
Yeah, but
It's
you
not.
guys, please make sure you guys check out, the other content creators. That's a part of our tribe here. It is. I think if he's still here, he can shout out all the names of all of us. Proverb Nation, hello. How are you, Proverb Nation? R. Jones, good morning to you. It's so good to see you all. Hello, hello. Yeah, but you guys check him out because he is the reason why I can speak for myself and say, he, as well as Roy Potter, as well as Headlines with a Voice, and a few other people are the reason why I am here doing, what I'm doing now. And I just appreciate you guys all so much. So there's that part. But yeah, I ain't had my coffee yet, so you get the mushy me. With that said, I'm gonna take the mic off so I can get my coffee. No mush.
Yeah. Well, it will take you as you are, and that's so we'll it's all good around here. And yes, you guys feel free to drop your links. And the mods or we got enough stripes around here. You guys, drop your links, and if you get any FOD or if you get any digital FOD, you know what to do. Hey, you're digital first responders here on Black Spring. So let's respond when we see symptoms pop up. So, but yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you're coming in, and yeah, I mean, this is it doesn't feel like Christmas Eve, which yeah, but I'm happy to be here, and happy that you guys decided to come out, because yesterday was a bit of a trying day for me. I really I needed to stop and reassess, and like, okay, you're getting into the trenches of this thing now, so either put up or pack up, pack it in. So I've decided to put up. It's going to take all of us to do it. To stick around.
You're gonna put up and handle it is what you're doing. You're putting it up and you're handling it. And I like what you're putting down, Black Spring with Autumn. I love what you're putting down, sister. And I tell you, Derek Coyne, you're right. Intelligence done right. I know you got a mug with that on it. I mean,
I don't have that. I don't have
Copyright office. Copyright office. You better hurry up. You better
so
get
funny.
like me. Anything I say that people repeat, it's okay. So
you know what? That is too funny. So you and Derek both co-sign that to go on some merch. I just have a one mug out there in the making, and so
I'm getting that mug. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but I love coffee. And yeah, I'm getting my mug. So you guys make sure y'all get your mugs too. And I was like, I like this mug. Let me go ahead on and get me a mug. You gonna buy me a Black Spring without a mug? Oh yeah, I'm getting me a couple of them. I may just put a whole tree, my mug tree. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 little arms, and get me a whole set of them.
But it's funny. It's like, where's the Lockhart gear? I haven't. I've got some things that I'm trying to create, but I haven't really committed.
Is this a challenge? Is this a challenge?
Yeah, okay.
Are you challenging me to step up my game?
Lockhart for 2021, we need to see at least one piece, even if it's an ink pen with a glowing light on
the end. I'm gonna get me a Batman Dakota ring.
We need to see it at least one piece of merch coming out of coming out of the studios of coming out of the shop, the merchandise shop, and the e-commerce store of the Lockhart
Oh
Perspective Media.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah
So
man,
it's
I don't know you guys. I just know I'm getting me 6 of them Black Spring cups while y'all playing. That's a
too
bad
funny.
cup. I'm sorry, that's a bad cup.
So funny. So funny. Kathy Latour's here. Hi, Kathy.
Hey Kathy, how are you, sister?
She has a message. She says, the Lord has something for you to do. He sure does, both of you. Thank you so much, Kathy Latour.
I love Kathy. I love Kathy. I really do. Kathy, Melinda, R. Jones, everybody who's emailed. God bless you guys. You guys are awesome. We're gonna have to make sure that we do that movie night. And Black Spring and I are also going to put together the donations. And I know we mentioned that a few weeks back, but we're definitely going to follow through with that. It's not something that was just said openly like a great idea. No, we're going to do that. So once she and I put our head together and figure out the safest way for us to start some type of donation within our family, then we're definitely going to put that out. You remember we mentioned that a few weeks ago about giving to people in need. Even though we're all in need right now, I feel like if we all start helping each other somehow, some way,
Yes.
then it'll be better. We are our own community, and really, I know that Ronnie and I were also talking about a way that we could do it. So we're going to come up with some great ways so that we can assist each other. It may not be much, but it's whatever we put in the pot. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I understand very much. Thank you. That's very, yes. It's very apropos. I really appreciate it. And hello to
Paralysis by I just saw what paralysis by paralysis by analysis. You trying to send somebody to my door and knocking, rap, tap, tap. Oh yes, we're here to see a young lady by the name of Felicia Lockhart. You understand this is her home of residence. This is where she lives. I understand you got some amazing merchandise there on YouTube. You want to go ahead and explain that to us, ma'am? Yeah, just step on outside. It's okay. No, they're just coming outside. Yeah. Well, listen. If you don't want to come outside, we had pancakes this morning. What did you have? For those of you who know what that means.
Well, you know what? It's thank you for sharing that paralysis by analysis. Yeah, I think we're all going to be the shelves are kind of low, so maybe the Lockhart Perspective has a drop on the boomsticks.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Put it out there like that. I'm gonna get like Eddie Murphy. Why you got to make that up? Why you got to say that? Is it because I'm the only black woman standing up in the stream?
Wow. Well, you gotta you've got to find one. If you don't have one, you've got to find one. Where do you begin? But I don't know. This is looking a little bit dense. I don't know if we can handle a Greta Thunberg at this level, at this early. I don't know.
That child is that's not a person, you guys. I think she is seriously AI.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that,
Oh yeah, I think she is. I think a lot of these people that we think are people are not people.
Oh my gosh.
I think a lot of them are AI. I mean, nothing is far-fetched when you're dealing with these group of demonic individuals. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with the devil. I mean, he's capable of anything. And I think who would put their child on Front Street like that? I know I wouldn't.
No. Well, and who would name Christmas Eve, after give Fauci a day on Christmas Eve? I mean, who would do that? It takes a special individual, right?
Yeah, well, who's pulling his strings. We talked about that, how, he was all, tell Hillary Clinton that he misses her, he loves her and all that stuff. That's what gets me is about, how many people forget that he was the main person, touting her as this great, person. And then all of a sudden he comes out in 17 and says what he says. And so it's like, I think we willfully don't want to connect the dots. You know what I mean, Autumn? It's like we just don't want to connect the dots. And
I
that's so
think that
concerning because it's just sad. Especially considering now our whole country is done. It's like everything is just chaotic. Oh, really? Why, thank you, old head. Okay. Thank you very much. Aha. I always thought of myself as a Foxy Brown type of chick, as my alter ego or my id or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. And I do mean coffee, or yeah, I think I see me more as coffee. Pam Greer. That's who I see with a with a cape on.
nice. The nice fro too, with a
Yeah,
F, with
yeah,
a
with
with
yeah,
Fifi sprayed
yeah,
into the
sprayed in it. Yeah, sprayed in my favorite color, which is red, and then um, I have to have Angela Bassett's arms though. That's a
yes.
must. Yeah, you can't leave home without those.
Well, here we have Anarchy Television says, did you guys happen to see the cover of the German magazine called The Star? It has a nativity scene with the mocktail as the gift to Jesus. Oh my gosh, take cover now. This
You know
is
what, these people, let me just say this
I'm
publicly because I
getting
know I told you and I had this conversation with Ronnie last night. And that is a lot of people gonna get shocked in another week here. Y'all, I've been saying it. There's something gonna happen where we ain't even gonna be ready for it. But I tell you one thing, I'm ready for what they need to do to make sure that we don't have to deal with the craziness. We're gonna have to deal with some craziness, but I really, really am gonna need for this situation to hurry up and reveal itself so that we don't have to go through this next phase. And so what I'm gonna tell you guys to do is pray for the president that we currently have. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean you agree with everything he does. It doesn't mean you like him. It doesn't mean that you are a proponent for him. What this means is you are activating, and I'm popping my finger right now. So you are activating the will of God, the will of the Most High in that situation. You're activating and you're letting him know, I trust you and I pray your will be done. But protect this president, protect this man. Again, you can dislike him. I have had my arguments and I have, y'all know that. Y'all know, I mean, I was a always Trumper. And then a few months ago declared that I got off the Trump train. But I ain't stupid. And I do know that right now, if we ain't praying for this cat, we are going to rue the day. So whatever is going on up there, we don't know, but the Father does. And so we pray that, he has strength and that the Most High gives him the strength that he needs to endure this thing that's about to happen, because there's some heavy stuff. You guys, he's very quiet now. He's saying a couple of 2 or 3 things, but he and my father shared the identical birthday. And I want to tell you, and when those cats get quiet, they come out swinging. So we're going to have to undergird him. I would much rather see him do something he needs to do to stop whatever it is that's about to happen versus to let himself just go on ahead and leave and then us deal with these people who've already sold us out to China, who've already repaid. Look at the amounts of money that was given out, you guys. All that money was given out as repayment and payment of debts. And
yeah,
that
they've
was
been starved.
that was all hush hush money. Every inch of that. If you look at the people who just got paid, and this is no cap, I'm being real. Those people were paid off. Those nations were paid off at our expense to sort of clear the ground because they possibly feel like, hey, there may be a chance that we might not be in here, and we definitely don't need for them to come back and do any testifying against us, or they just needed to pay them off so that this cat would have a clearer walk. And by this cat, I mean the dementia guy. So keep your eyes open, you all. And again, pray for him because what's about to happen is some heavy stuff. It's very heavy. It's very heavy. It's free to pray. It's free to pray. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing. Yeah, that
You
part.
got that right. Well, I'm finding that imagery. I want to pull that imagery. Thanks so much for sharing that, Anarchy Television. That's pretty. Am I surprised by anything anymore? The survey says X. If I could put a big X, I would do. No, I'm not. But I want to find that article or find the actual that imagery. But it's so wicked. It's I can't. It's almost. I want to say that I can't believe people are doing these things, but I can. So, but I don't know. It's just I don't want to settle into that believing that they're doing these things. And I do believe that people of faith are going to be under attack. I think that's a part of it too. You know, they're daring you. You can only speak about it when it's in the way they want you to speak about it. I mean, we talked about that yesterday. We talked about how we have these secular Democrats that want, you know, First Amendment and Trump supporters and conservatives, including African Americans. They want these people shut down and re-educated. So it's pretty intense.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's necessary. It's you know what, I'm gonna tell you something. It's almost criminal for those of us who know the word and know the power of prayer. It's almost criminal for us not to pray. It really is, because right now what's going on is there are some things that if you just sort of start doing the math, it's almost like you got four factions up there fighting against one another. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because see, here's what I think. I think the reason why you have all these people who are jumping on the bandwagon to pick Trump at this point, that's in government. I'm not talking about folks like me who got upset because, you know, I didn't like what he was doing towards the end here. I'm talking about people who are up there with him every single day that are working. A lot of these folks jump ship because they know they got so much dirt in their back pocket and their back, you know what I'm saying, in their yard. They got so much garbage going on in their lives that they don't want to be found out. So they have to jump on the side of those who are trying to get him out of there to save their face. But I believe just like Feinstein had that good old fashioned common sense, a whole lot of these other folks are probably going to hang out a little too long and they're going to be able to get out on their own and they're going to get put out. And I believe that he's got a surprise for a whole bunch of people. Like I say, my father's birthday is, June 14th. And brilliant man, my stepfather who raised me, brilliant man. And they, even though I saw a lot of rhetoric and a lot of loud stuff going on from the Trump campaign, the way I saw it was, there's got to be some intern that's tweeting on his behalf a lot of those times. I know it was him, but a lot of the times I really felt like a lot of the tweets was coming out of his camp based on things that he had said that they may have gotten clearance to say in print. But now, the Trump you're seeing right now, that's that strategic person. My father played chess for years. And I'm not using that 3D chess stuff that people are saying, but my dad, no, I'm really not, because I don't even know that. I didn't know that was a thing. But
No.
my father is very strategic. He's an engineer, studied psychology, psychiatry. He studied psychiatry and went to school at UCLA for that. And Air Force engineer, mathematician. He's just a brilliant man. My point is, they don't do anything by accident. And when something happens, they're gonna get you back. and so if my vote in 2016, I will publicly say, if my vote in 2016 garners any good thing, I hope it's that this cat goes out swinging. Real talk. I hope that he begins to throw those bows like somebody fighting on a New York street. I hope, and that's my prayer. I hope, baby boy, even though I was mad at you, I'm going to say this publicly, just like I said, I got off your train publicly. Right now, after seeing exactly what is at stake and what you are truly and honestly up to, whatever the last ditch effort you can do, even though I might be mad at you if you get back in, because you're going to do something else that ticks me off, because that's just life, right? Right now, I'm praying that he gets the spirit of a finisher, the spirit of a warrior and a conqueror, and the spirit of a finisher. That's what I pray, right? That's what I pray. Because if not, what are my grandkids going to have? Because I'm looking at this thing from a whole different level. This week here, I was like, you know what? This right here is, especially when I did that report on China last night. When I put that out, I was like, these people are literally, they have literally they have put a circle around us. It's like the old fashioned Chuck Wagon movies where they would have the wagons go in the circle and encamp
Yeah.
the enemy. That's exactly what they've done. They have purchased up every single free spot of space that they can. They have taken almost every port while we've been over here looking at this and dealing with that. They've taken everything.
Wow.
They've got us surrounded, right? So that's why I say, I pray, oh boy, get a spirit of a finisher and start throwing them bows like somebody that's fighting on the street corner right there in New York.
And I'm going to read a few comments, but I did find something which is, let me just read. I'm going to switch the screen here just a second. But yes, justice. I mean, some victory or some form of, I'm not, I don't have the words. I find these days, I haven't had the words in months. I think it's not days. That's why the Lockhart perspective is here, and paralysis by analysis. He's
Paralysis. We're gonna give him a song in a mug with a gun on the front of it. Paralysis by analysis.
So this is let's see, just for kicks here. This is coming out of something called Ruptly. It says Virgin Mary sewing mask while baby Jesus gets a mocktail as present in this Granada nativity scene. Now I don't know if they'll let me see. You guys have a strong
Don't
stomach?
play nothing. Don't play nothing. You see, they just took my stream down the other day. Don't you do it. Don't you play nothing. Not Nathan.
All right. All right.
I wish somebody had told me, don't you push that button. Because I had to go back and edit that whole video just to take that other part out at the end, just so that we could save the first part. Don't you touch it.
I know.
I will never touch another button.
I was so tempted. I was already pressing it, and before I could press it all the way down, Felicia says, "Stop."
I wish somebody had got in my ear, or just here go. You know what's always funny? When something happens, somebody say, I was trying to tell you not to." Ronnie talk about I was being very subtle in the chat when I said, well, it's very dark and this and such. I said, dude, you needed to say, Fifi, no.
It's so funny that we don't have. It would be nice if we had like a little audio or a little bell or something that could ring or something when somebody wants to warn you of something from the chat. Don't do it.
Yes, don't do it. Don't do it. But they have a 10-second lag on StreamYard. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So we see what we see in the chat is like 10 seconds. So it's not automatic. So who's calling me and why?
So even JT Waterman says don't play. Okay, I got it. You guys are saving them for myself.
Yep. Yes, to try to sign them up to chess.com is free, and they get to play people from all over the world. Okay, that sounds like something I won't be doing no time soon. But I will get my grandkids to sign up for that. That'll be good. Yeah, well, that's awesome.
Anarchy Television said, I had a feeling it was going to happen, Felicia. I just didn't know what actually was going to happen. We just can't tell about these people around here. I mean, what can we do? I mean, we're walking on eggshells. We're using soft shell gloves, right? For everything. We're handling everything with care and, And R. Jones says Juan O'Savin is someone to listen to. His interviews are on various channels. Thank you, R. Jones. And JT Waterman says when they do distractions, look here, look for what they are doing that they don't want us to see. You see a lot they are up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Derek plays chess. take a second
Well,
look
I would
before you.
imagine. I would imagine him, my father, my husband, my father, my husband, Trump, Derek, all of these cats that are very heavy thinkers. Um, yeah, they all got the same birthday. And they all don't be going out talking about, oh, they're talking about astrology. No, I'm not talking about astrology. I'm just saying they all got the same birth month. You take that however you want it.
So,
You take
okay,
it
we
however
have,
you want it.
yeah, easy, no trigger, no trigger. Derek C. Williams says, imagery. Imagine Muhammad running from Mecca to Medina to get his woo. That's a code word. That's a buzzword, a 3-letter word. We should do charades on here. What is it? What it words with friends for create our own list through a game. We can type it, but
Yeah,
we
we
can't
can
say
do
it.
that.
We can type our
Yeah,
list out, but we can't say it
no, I can say it, but I just won't play it.
because what was it? You're killing me. You're killing me. Um, paralysis
They're
by
getting a
analysis.
glimpse at our phone calls. They're getting a glimpse at our calls that we have sitting on the phone all night long.
I know. I know. They're everywhere. I think everything's being picked up. But I think it was it's like some people's cameras, there were a lot of other people even on Periscope and Twitter, their videos were coming out like poltergeist scenes like is it really the camera?
What happened? What
Like
happened?
the camera was blinking. If you like, I think they were censoring a lot of people yesterday, just across multiple platforms, because one other guy, he was
Well,
even trying to do something he was trying to do something on Newsmax, and his camera was just like nonstop. He couldn't even go on because it was so bad. He had to cancel his appearance, and then he even on Periscope it was messing up. So I don't think this is all isolated. I really don't. And I don't
okay.
and then and
Uh,
it didn't make me feel better, but it's just wow, this is I just think they're shoring it up. They're
well,
ramping it
if
up a
you
little bit.
own, if you owed somebody a whole bunch of money, I mean trillions and trillions of dollars, right? And you couldn't pay them back, right? Eventually, they're going to come for something that you own. And we were purchased by the Chinese. And so the reason why we're seeing all of these draconian things come in is because eventually they're going to call in that complete marker and they're going to take it completely out. That is their attempt and that's their goal. And again, the video that I put up last night explains pretty much their whole modus operandi. Come in, help build the infrastructure. You can't pay? Oh, that's okay. We'll just take your port. Oh, you can't play? That's all right. We'll just take this. So it's like Monopoly, 10.0 or whatever. And so that's exactly what's going on. It makes you see everything in its totality as to how everything is really going on right now. You know what I'm saying? When you put it in that perspective of these folks owe somebody, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, Autumn? And it's like
Mm.
we owe somebody. We don't know exactly what we owe, although we've all had inclinations that we owe. We just don't know how much. So this, like I said, Feinstein, excuse me, sold out part and parcel a lot of California. Um, as well as Pelosi, as well as her nephew in California, the governor. A lot of these people were up for a lot of illegal stuff. A lot of them were. And so now when you're seeing that whole glitching thing and all the stuff going on with this law that they just passed in that bill, excuse me, about, the whole, it's like not a pirate law, but it's a law that basically says, if you are receiving any funds for doing anything and then you go up and you put up, for example, they're telling streamers, do not play anybody else's news clip because if you do, you can get 10 years in jail. And it's just a really nice way of saying that, but it's in that package that they just passed. Did you know that?
I thought I did read something about that. It was something
Yeah,
to the benefit of the elite, of course, and of Holly
right,
weirdos.
right, right.
But
But
I
it's
didn't
really
I
not
yeah,
about Hollywood.
it's
Yeah, but
for
it's not
us.
about. It's for us because they've already subdued Hollywood to the best of their ability. I mean, they are Hollywood. So for us, what they're saying is, hey, if you guys put up anything else, and the irony is, and Ronnie brought this point up, is that he said, Fifi, the day they cut your stream off at that exact same time, he looked back, they were passing this. This thing came out. So they've been
Wow.
doing that since, yeah. So Sunday, when we were live, and all of a sudden it got zapped, that's exactly when they first put it out as far as publishing the news story. Obviously, they had, agreed to it before then. But the fact is that, yeah, this is a systematic takeover of our nation. It's not such it's not going to be subtle. It started with the small fires out in California, like I said before, where they started burning up everything except the trees around the building. The entire building was gone and the trees were still around. That
Yeah.
didn't make any sense, but it's because they want their land and they want their property. They want their stuff and they're coming to get it.
Wow. Well, that's all that was yeah, it was definitely it was a different hue in the sky, to say the least. Just a few short months ago, when those fires were happening, and yeah. But you're right, and that's why I want to keep directing people, of course, at your leisure, to go over to the Lockhart Perspectives channel and check out the video. I mean, it was like the visuals. I think you gave us a lot of visuals. I thought the imagery was fantastic, and yeah, it was beastly, very apropos, Felicia.
Well, I think, to you all's point, I think, that was part of the problem, was the reason why it was hard to upload it because I grabbed some free Getty stuff, you know what I mean, and stuck it up there. But the point I'm making is I really wanted to drive home how demonic this situation truly is. And then also, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you will notice that, yeah, that is the dragon that's mentioned in the book of Revelation. So even though it's a video, it's a double entendre in that you see that, yeah, the story is telling you they've got you surrounded, but who is it that has you surrounded? Yeah, it's that dragon. So it's really time to shore up our prayer life. And I really don't care if you don't believe in God or not. If you say, oh, I don't believe there is a God, well, you a fool, because the Bible even says that a man who says that there is no God, he is a fool. Okay. But I will say this: if you are out of the church because you just mad at somebody, or you just didn't have a good time at church, but you still know God for yourself, I recommend you pray. I sure enough do. I sure enough do. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I'm pouring my coffee right now.
We're ready. We're sitting down. We're waiting on it. And Anarchy Television, yes, that's a very serious threat. The EMP, the risk, and even in fact, I will tell you, I did give them as much benefit of the doubt as I could when I dove into that package. They did mention, I don't know if they're sticking with the commission level of study or funding, but they need to actually do something about the grid. It's 100 years old. You would think that they would, but many of these issues are not new issues. But I also saw renovations for the Hoover building. I mean, gosh, that's really, that's holding us back, right
Mm.
now.
Well, no, it's they're paying people off. And that's what I want us to start doing from now on. I want, when we see something like that, I don't even want us to play the game and say, oh, they gave money to the Kennedy Center last time. No, they didn't. They paid somebody off. That money went in somebody's pocket.
Right.
Don't even call it what they said, because then if that's the case, then that means we believe what they said. Nah, player, you didn't give no money to no Kennedy Center.
They
You put that
fired
money in
those
your pocket.
musicians. They
Yeah,
I know
nah.
exactly what you mean.
But my point is, they did not give that money to those people. Just the same way they just gave us a stimulus package and gave $700 million to somebody, and then turned right. I mean, 700 billion, is it billion or million with an M? Either way it goes, you give us $600 of our tax money, and then you go and you take money and you give it to Egypt. Then you go take money, you give it to Ukraine. Then you go turn right around and you give it to different parts of Africa. Yo, what's good? I'm not going to call this what you want me to call it. You are paying somebody off and then you're taking what's left and you're putting it in your pocket. You are the mafia. You are worse than any cartel I've ever seen in my life. That's who you are and that's what you're doing. This ain't got nothing to do with the name you put on the front of it. If I say what you put on there, I'm just as bad as you. That means you played me and I allowed it. No, sir. Y'all crooks. You gave that money because you either paid somebody off or you put it in your pocket.
It is certainly the boomerang effect. In fact, that's what I wanted to refer to this year as. I was told this was the year of the boomerang, but I let it go because, I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but things turned very quickly. And,
yeah, you're giving money to Pakistan, just like Rachel just said. Pakistan, come on, y'all. We're not gonna call this week. They gave money to Pakistan. No, they didn't. Okay, if they just gave the money, just like Rachel just said, for what? Okay, I'm with her. But look here, just like we say, oh, they paid back a debt that was owed to Iran. That's why they gave them that money. No, they didn't. That's not what that was for. Even though that money was owed, that's not what it was for. You don't take money in different forms of currency from all over the world, put it on, big old, what are those things called? They set them on, they took them to a hanger, but they set them on pallets and they gave them, no, man, if you're going to pay somebody back, let's be real. Money laundering goes in cash. They said that, I didn't. All right. They the ones that make you, if you own a salon, you got to take and make sure that your money over a certain amount, that it's all electronic. They're the ones who did that. So you're going to tell me you're going to take money, put it on a pallet, put it on a plane to fly to a foreign country and give it away. That ain't money laundering. When any other time we deal with money, it can be traced. Yeah, it can be traced. We put it through a wire, so no, they doing something funky and they're using us as hush money. They give us the $600 for those of us who are going to take it. They give us the $600 as hush money. What can $600 do? Come on, let's be real, ladies. $600 ain't even a real shopping spree. If you was just gonna take it and go do something wrong with it, go shopping, that ain't even a true shopping spree. What can you get for $600? You can't even pay your mortgage with $600.
That's I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that I'm a proponent for shelling out money, but at the same time, I think a lot of people actually need assistance. I mean, they're still shutting people down. Many restaurants, we've got at least a list of 100 restaurants that are closed, that are permanently, they're not coming back at all. And counting. And some of them have just said, we're not shutting down anymore, Newsom. We're not going to do what you say. And
good for them, right?
So people are doing their own version of disobedience. To me, it's still civil, but I think they've been a lot more civil than I thought.
Let me tell you something. In a minute, it ain't gonna be about civility. I'm sorry. When you got your kids sitting up there staring you in your face and you can't eat, you can't feed them, it's gonna get a point where some of these cats is about to be tired of being civil. Okay. It's about that time. It's really getting about that time. I'm not a proponent of anything, but what I am a proponent of is survival. And I am a proponent of standing up for yourself and your family. And in a minute, this is going to get off the chain. And that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting to see exactly how far, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop. That's what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? They really are trying to see exactly what they got to do to incite us to fight back. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are talking about the money, saying, well, they shouldn't be giving this, they shouldn't be giving that. Let me just say this like this. I don't know about you all. If you've never been hungry, or if you've never had, been without a job, never been hungry. But if you were a person who was living paycheck to paycheck, keeping up with your bills, minding your own business, prior to this happening, and now you are at that place where you're wondering where your next meal is coming from, you got daggone right. They need to give you some money. You doggone right. They need to get those people some money. They need to pay these people some money in America. They sure do. They sure do. And I'm gonna say that. That's why these people are wrong. Because the folks that need it, you put them in the situation. Now you saying, oh well, we're gonna give you this much. And then when I hear other people complain about the package itself, yes, I don't believe that we need to have such a huge package, and I don't believe that we need to give, all this money to these countries at all. I know that to be true. But you're not going to say that we should throw the whole thing out because, we don't feel like they should be spending the money at all. No, sir. There are people right now in this chat that don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't know where their light bill going to get paid from. They don't know how they're going to get to work for this little part-time gig that they got just to keep their head above water because they wasn't getting no help. So as far as I see it, you owe them that and more. You owe us much more than six. You owe us much more than $2,000. Keep your 2 G's, player. Keep your money and just give us what you really owe us. Mind your own business and let us mind ours. But that's not what's going on. So for the people who don't have no food, and the people who don't have no money, and the folks who can't keep their lights on, and all the people who are about to get put out simply because this situation exists, to them, I say yes, give them that money. But yes, these folks need to be held accountable and shave that thing down to where it only benefits us. No foreign interest and no people that y'all done let over here illegally. That's that.
Now that was a mouthful. You hit everything. You covered everything on that. Yes, it's very frustrating, and I think people are gonna, things can't continue the way that they are. I say this is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. And I think the will of the people is beyond, tested at this point. So I just don't think either way, I just don't think I think people are not going to roll over. And if they are, not much longer. I really don't. Because I mean, you have people that have protested regularly in some of these areas, and some people, oh, well, that's only in rich neighborhoods. These people are not all rich. Give me a break. You guys can spare me the whole that everybody out here is a 6-figure individual. That is not real. I don't care what CNN says. I don't care, because half the people out here are living at the beach right now. New cars.
What, in California?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And describe to people what you mean by that, because I don't think they're hearing you. Describe that. That's a trip.
Well, what I'm
Listen
thinking
to what she's about to describe.
What I'm thinking what has happened is during the first CARES Act, I think there was moratoriums on the rent. And what I think with that is, so who cares if you give somebody a moratorium and then they're out of work, they couldn't pay it. They couldn't give you the 1 month. Now they owe you 2 months. Now they owe you 3 months. And now these are people, I think these are there are people that are, how can I say, freshly homeless. Like they've just stepped into that disparity. And you can tell, I mean, and I'm not saying that I'm some type of aficionado or expert on what it means to be homeless, but I know that there's different kinds.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been homeless. So I know. I've been there. I've been hungry. I've been homeless. Jobless, hungry, pregnant, all at the same time. So I'm not one of these people who are walking around in a glass house where, I'm just oh so perfect. And you know what? I don't have no problems. I'm just so perfect. No. I know how it is to be homeless in California, pregnant with no place to stay, all at one time. Oh yeah, in Cali, yes. So it's not a joke. If a person is homeless in California, they homeless. They ain't got no money in California with a brand new car too. Oh yeah, they sleeping at the beach. It's for real.
It's full. It was full, and that was this was right before the summer, like early fall, and you can just see the car. I mean, I was thankful for them being able to stay there, that the cops didn't come and bust them up or clear that parking lot out because I just I mean, I just it was an observation, but I was just thinking, are there normally this many cars in this parking lot? And of
You were
course,
trying.
I was like, I mean, I just get at least you can get some fresh air. And the thing about it is it's not even about wasn't I wasn't even really people watching or anything. I was just, just wanted to get some fresh air and I ended up staying a little bit longer than I meant to stay. But then you did see a little bit of joy in the people. There were kids there. There were kids on that beach. There were church groups on that beach. You just People just wanted to live. They just wanted to taste some level of freedom there. But then, it went from that, as it got darker, it didn't clear out and then in fact, it increased. The volume increased. And yeah, like I said, these were newer vehicles and you just but the people in this state, they are out of control. Um they could care less. This is a state they don't care about their own. And it looks like we've turned into that kind of a nation where we've become a nation that doesn't care about its own. Um,
Yeah.
but we're paying tons of taxes, everywhere. There's still tons of potholes everywhere. Um,
You like, where the money going?
like, wait a minute. Will I have to replace these tires because I'm trying to avoid there's some holes I can't avoid. Um, but yeah, it's very tough. It's tough to see that. Um, it's tough to see people struggling like that and for people to pretend like it's all unicorns and rainbows at the start of but I've had friends to say, they'd rather be homeless in California than anywhere else in the world. Now that was a strong statement and I didn't question it. I just backed it up. It happens to be a friend of my friend's brother actually made that comment. But you know, um, it is what it
Ask
is.
them
But
next time. Ask them next time. Ask them next time. Ask them why they feel like that. You know what I mean? I will tell you that there there's a lot of ways that you can possibly, for example, I'll use parts of Alabama for an example. Um, if you're homeless in parts of Alabama and a person, praise God, I'm not in that situation. But for the grace of God, there go I, and I could be in that situation just like any of us could be. And I want to first of all crack up laughing with paralysis and anarchy. I was considered homeless for 10 years, but never pregnant. And then paralysis by analysis. Then homeless, but not pregnant. You got me beat on that one, Felicia.
see, there you
That's
go. Look,
hilarious.
look, analysis
That's funny.
paralysis by analysis. You got your nice little your graphic here, and it comes out very clean. But yeah, that's
So,
intense. That's
so
that's really intense.
ask them. But here, if you even here in Alabama, for example, if somebody is homeless, do you know that they cannot ask for any money? They cannot, if anybody gives them money, pretty much they have to try to pretend like they don't want it because it could be a police officer trying to,
Oh wow, I didn't
entrap
know
them.
that.
And a lot of people don't want to go to jail being homeless. People think that people who are homeless are lazy. Wow, that could not be furthest from the truth. There's a lot of people who, like I said, are paycheck to paycheck, and then they just miss one step. You paycheck to paycheck, you miss one step, you're out. Your lights are off.
That's it. That's it. One paycheck away, and I said that to somebody. I was saying it to another person in Southern California. I was saying that for Pelosi to say that $600 was generous, and she just kind of goes, and I think she's an ardent Democrat, and I don't want to say bless her heart.
See?
I'm saying, what do you mean she doesn't understand? You accept
I
you
mean,
accept that, you accept her behavior, and you probably went out here and voted for her, but then you just keep giving her. I mean, Yeah,
This
I just
lady buys $20 ice cream. Isn't it like a pint for $20 or something like that?
yeah, some really chic boutique ice cream.
Ice cream we
Yeah,
can't buy, but if it's unless it's tax return, that's the only time you can ever buy that ice cream when it's tax return. Regular people, I'm just talking about regular folk. You know what I'm saying? Just regular
yeah,
folk can't afford to buy the ice cream Pelosi was eating unless it's tax return time or you just had a big windfall somewhere. You put a quarter, you put a quarter in a slot machine. It came up, hey. But she could tell somebody that $600 is nice. Well, you go ahead on and keep it, rocking your $600 moisturizer, okay? Uh-huh, yeah, $600 moisturizer, skincare, and it still ain't working, looking like Skeletor.
yeah. She's due for a lot of work. She's not like, what are you spending your money on? Oh my gosh, I
What
don't
do you
know.
get for your money, Pelosi?
Yeah, so yeah, of course she doesn't. It's worse than her not understanding. It's worse than that. She's got her hand in the bag, if you ask me. So no, it's not that she doesn't understand. She understands well. And she probably hates her constituents too.
Like
Because there's none.
Cruella DeVille style, like Cruella DeVille. You think she hates them like little puppies? Do you think she does? She doesn't. What do you think? What do you think she eats for breakfast, Black Spring? Nails,
Oh my gosh. Who knows? I don't
thumbtacks.
I think that she's probably more maybe she's more AI than she is Botox. She's had one too many. Like, it's one too many on all of that. I think just frivolous, and but then again, I think, what is it that she has, wine vineyards, I think, and Newsom has, on all of their stuff is still open. Okay, mind you, their businesses are still open. You can go by and
Mm,
get wine.
yeah, he closed up all the vineyards last spring and then slipped up and somebody found him. That's why I have a hard time believing that anybody there voted for these people because nobody likes them. And I mean, I
Yeah,
think that there's been massive cheating for a while, obviously. I think that cheating's been going on. Angel's Army says I would get a $600 TV instead of a $600 skincare kit that I know that won't work. Well, see, I used to sell skincare, and one of the most expensive products that I've ever sold was like a $2,000 jar of moisturizer. So I'm saying that to say Nancy Pelosi is not on the durable goods type of deal. She's more in the luxury. She, of course, obviously has her own portfolio that's across the water somewhere so that when they're done tanking this place, they've got somewhere to go. But that $600, we're just challenging her choice of ice cream and saying she could get
and
$20
chocolate.
ice cream. So obviously, yeah, $600 ain't nothing to her. And to Rachel's point, her refrigerator wasn't even six. That was a $24,000 refrigerator that was standing behind Nancy Pelosi at her house. Did y'all know that? That was a
Yeah,
monster.
she was seriously, let them eat ice cream, mate. Let them eat cake, or it was sad. It was sad because I think I had even seen some lines, even like near Carson. They were like 2 mile long lines for food.
In Carson. Now, see, I was raised in Carson. I was raised in a very nice part of Carson. Like I said, my dad was an engineer, so the area in Carson that we grew up in was was pretty well to do. It was pretty affluent. You know, in our area, lots of engineers. Lots of people work for Rockwell or at the time Hughes Aircraft or places like that. So to see lines like that, and that's probably just a smidge of lines.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
even
No,
the
it is.
real fullness. Black Spring, was
Yeah.
that just like one or two places they showed?
Well, this was actually, I mean, this was just some imagery that I saw online, or it was from local news, but it was what I saw online, and it was raining that day. It's like, my gosh, this is horrible. How can these people live with themselves? They do nothing for the people, whether it's, pandemic or not. You know what I mean? you're right. They have been in these positions for, look at Waters, Maxine Waters. She's done nothing. And but yeah, but it was nice that Joe Collins exposed her and her little home, the whole neighborhood. I mean, it's just, I don't know what the people have to. I don't know what's going to happen. It's almost like it's something bigger than the people at this point that's going to happen, because I think we're pretty docile right now. Kind of
Um,
we've kind of been
I have,
lulled.
I agree with you. I agree with you 110%. It's almost like it's probably going, I do see, the original the Civil War was indicative of, if I have to give it an example, I think that's pretty much what is about to happen, and in a lot of ways. And I do see that, to me, if there was enough people in different states that could just secede, they should. I really think so. And again, I use Texas as an example of having been, its own country. And yeah, I think that is necessary. I think that if you don't want to deal with a lot of the stuff that's going on, that if there were a way possible to just become your own, because we are really, each state is its own, right? And we're just allegedly united or whatnot. I just think that that's probably going to be the way for us to be, but it's not going to come. It's not going to happen without some sacrifices, and it's going to be a lot of stuff that's about to change if we ever get beyond the point of complaining about it. Because complaining about it and not doing anything about it is just swimming around in the same old fishbowl of tepid water full of fish poop, full of it.
That's true. That's true. Um, that's really true. Well, I really appreciate you for coming on at the Lockhart Perspective, and everyone for joining me on this. I don't know, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve, and I appreciate you for coming in, for spending some of your Christmas Eve here at Black Spring. And it looks like everything is working. I guess I'm working today. So I just want to run one more commercial, and I'm going to give the Lockhart Perspective the final words, or either maybe we can read a few more comments and get us out of here in 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes, and we're out. Thank you guys so much for that. And for any reviews that are out there under the Black Spring Black Spring with Autumn ratings or rankings. So we will be right back. And I forgot to play this at the beginning, but I'm thinking, but I'm going to go ahead and do this commercial. I'll be right back, guys. Thanks so much. Hang tight there. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, there's something for everyone. So please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And I'm going to thank everyone in the chat. And thank you guys for those of you who took the opportunity to feed the AI today. Now, that's whether you hit the like button or the unlike button, or if you decided to share and just to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm seeing some faces from a while back, blast from the past. Thank you guys so much for coming in on your Christmas Eve. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday and at least you will find peace and keep the faith and the grace. I'm always thankful for grace wherever I may find it, because to me, even that can be rare these days. So I'm going to thank a few people in Lockhart. You can feel free to respond to any of these because I think I've read quite a few, but there's some I think I've missed. Don't like to miss the comments.
I like Rachel Van Ziel's idea. Party at Paralysis's house. Paralysis house.
All right. What are we serving there? What's being served? Paralysis. What
What's
do you got?
being served? Paralysis. What you making? What you serving? Oh, do we gotta be wild? We gotta bring our own. Bring our own Kool-Aid? What we gotta bring? We gotta bring our own soda water. Huh?
Oh,
Anarchy is sending you something, a PDF that'll clog up your whole entire computer with all that big old, bet it's a big old PDF. And I don't know if Steve Willis is still in here, but Steve, I did not get the email that you mentioned. I have gotten everybody else's email who sent me an email to Felicia at FeliciaLockhart.com, but I did not get yours last night. I sent you a response. I'm not sure if he's still here or if he's maybe just being a voyeur right now, just watching from outside looking in, but didn't get it. But yeah, and so Derek C. Williams, did you see what he says? Peace and
I
goodwill
saw that.
towards men
Oh my God,
and women in the Perin.
See, Derek, you are always on the cutting edge. You're keeping us honest
Keeps us grounded.
Yes.
And artichoke dip. Oh, she's gonna bring artichoke dip. Let's see. Jay Waterman. He's having pie and eggnog. Paralysis says chips and booze. And then Derek, in our current environment, Maker's Mark bourbon is a good spirit for the holidays. Yes, it is. And then artichoke dip again from Rachel Van Ziel. Let's see. What are you guys having? Are you guys having a bunch of food tomorrow?
I think it's going to be Indian Palace for me.
Well, you in the Indian food? Would you? That's delicious, though.
I'm trying to find out what's open. I mean, what is it? Ruth's Chris is open. I'm not a big meat eater.
Yeah,
I don't
were talking about that the other day. Yeah, you were talking about that the other day. And I told you I can't eat it anymore. It just made me so sick last week. I just can't even do it anymore. But yeah, you did mention Ruth's Chris.
But I don't want any hand-spun meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I do. Even if I wouldn't do that situation. I mean, so yeah, no thanks on the beef. Hold the beef.
Well, look, I'm gonna get off the line because the man I married is home, and I'm going to go.
Okay.
Don't want to spend that much more time away from him. Woke up and there was a human in the room. Woke up and there was a human here. Didn't know he's off the road, so that's good. So, all right, you guys, I love you all, and I will be live later on today. So hopefully you guys can stop
I will be looking for you. We will be looking for you.
All right, you guys take care.
Right.
For those of you who celebrate Christmas, y'all have a good one tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.
All right, thanks, Felicia. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. And Derek C. Williams is having roast macaroni and cheese, cabbage, sweet potatoes, turkey. While other folks are cooking. Derek's it's nice. Good. That sounds great. So I'm going to read a few more. I'm going to do a few thanks here. Gary Gage, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Gary Gage says, great conversation, you guys. A few things came to light for me. Oh my gosh. Joseph Francis Burton says, I am chopping veggies for pancit. Ooh, Philippine food of my wife. That sounds fantastic. Very nice. Don't eat it all. Steve Willis says, I tried it again from a different... Okay, I think you've already got that one in. Yeah, you guys can feel free to send things via email. I think I put that in there once before, but it's just blackspring@gmail. You guys for humoring me on this test. So in the next stream will be, as business as usual. My usual suspects. Usual suspected format, I guess, if you will. Let's see. Paralysis by Analysis, thank you so much for coming in and for all that you do to support the channel. Thank you guys so much. Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for all that you do in supporting the channel. Thank you, Rachel Van Ziel, for coming in and supporting. JT Waterman, thank you so much for coming in. And let's see, Proverb Nation, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. You were able to get in, spend some of your time from work here. I really appreciate that. Hope I said something that was, you know, a grain of stimulation there on a patience test here. Angel's Army, thank you so much for coming in. It's nice to see you. I appreciate you and all that you do. And Kathy Latour, thank you so much. You had a message, DAR 30% more in food lines, never been in food lines. Thank you. And Old Head Juice, thank you so much for coming in. We always have a fun time around here, even if it's on a stream, a test stream. I really appreciate it. And Kathy Latour says, yeah, they'll remember this day too, because this is the whole country should be praying and fasting. And I'm not even a religious woman like that, but we need to be serious about seeking God's face. Thank you very much, Kathy Latour. That's very, very, very powerful. I thank you for that. Let's see, who else am I missing? Anarchy Television. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. If I'm repeating some of your guys' names, just don't take it personally. It's just more of you to love here. Let's see who else. Steve Willis, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And I think R. Jones, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for sharing. You guys always have such great messages, and yeah, it's invaluable. This is the best chat, I think. Like, just absolutely the best. It looks like I'm to the top here. If I missed anyone, you can ding me now. Ding me now. Thank you so much. Well, I and to R. Jones's point, I would hope that he is going to veto the package. I'm not sure what the deadline is on that. Maybe it's Monday. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But I thank you guys for bearing with me on the test. And for those of you that were able to survive yesterday's stream, take 1 and 2. I appreciate it very much. And thank you guys so much for hitting that button on the Channelytics, because it helps a lot. Helps to stay around. I'm just taking a look at it now. So fantastic. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And thank you, Paralysis by Analysis. It says, God bless us, everyone. Thank you. And everybody's got lots of good things on their list. So, all right, guys. Have a great day. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next live stream in the comment section, during a video, a live stream, or even on a test on occasion. So you guys take care, and love to you all.